Welcome to the temporary home of PECO TV. My name is Kevin. I produce programs with a team of talented modelers all about the products that PECO produces. With such a wide range of products that are produced by PECO, everything from track, tools, plastic kits, there should be something for every single modeler out there to enjoy and find of interest. In addition to our product ranges, our two monthly model railway magazines, the Railway Modeler and Continental Modeler, will give you plenty of help and inspiration. And with our extensive network of retailers and distributors worldwide and our own technical advice bureau here at PECO, you will be supported all the way as you create your own model railway layout. From East Anglia to the Far East, from South Wales to New South Wales, from the Far West to the Midwest, PECO is always close to hand. We currently export to over 35 countries, and the list is growing. We recommend you support our superb network of retailers throughout the UK and across the globe. Our dealers and retailers have access to all of our products, and they are there to support you. Our first example from PECO TV is the Many Ways line-side country station in 00 scale from PECO TV. Building a plastic kit may be a new experience for some modelers used to using ready-made buildings or cardboard kits. But with a little practice, you'll soon realise how satisfying building a plastic kit can be, and how much more realistic and versatile the finished model can look. Today we will be looking at the country station in 00 scale, which is part of the Many Ways line-side range from PECO. First of all, you need the right tools to do the job. We recommend the PECO Tools Kit Builder's Toolset, the PT200, the ideal starter set for modelling in plastic, card and wood. For the construction of plastic kits, use polyurethane tube cement or liquid polyurethane solvent. Inside the box you'll find your kit and the instructions, which you need to keep to one side for reference during your build. Remove the kit from the plastic bag and lay it all out. The contents of the bag are one printed sheet of card, one sheet of glazing material, and one printed sheet of posters and timetables. There are also two moulded wall components, two roof mouldings, two moulded window sets, and one moulded valance set with its components. First of all, start by removing all the components from their mouldings. This can be done with a pair of plastic cutters or a Stanley blade. Then take each component and remove any plastic burrs or rough edges from all the kit's parts using a Stanley knife or a file to clean all the edges. This will give your windows and doors a snug fit and will allow the roof to fit flat and properly. Start cutting the glazing for the windows. Using a metal ruler, measure the height and the width of each recess on the reverse of each window to give you the size to cut. Once you have checked it fits nicely, you can make that first cut a template for the other windows. Then repeat this process for the doors that require glazing. Once all the glazing has been cut and dry fit into the windows and doors, carefully glue into place. It's important not to use too much glue, as this could leak out from between the plastic of the windows and the doors into the visible area in front of the glazing, spoiling the finish. Now, using a pin vise, drill 3 large holes at 1.25mm along the wall chosen for the canopy locating pegs. Then drill 4 small holes at 1mm in diameter through the wall for the guttering locating pegs on the reverse side. To do this safely and accurately, place the pin vise with the desired piece of plastic to be drilled onto a piece of wood as shown here. Once positioned, press gently at the top of the pin vise and twist. Or as shown with this type of pin vise, slide the rotator up and down gently. This will not require much force, but it must be done carefully. A few rotations will be more than enough to cut through the plastic. Make sure the holes are clear and dry fit the valance and guttering to check they fit correctly. I now recommend you glue the doors to the walls of the building, then followed by the window sills with the chamfered edges facing upwards. Once the window sills are in place and the adhesive has dried, glue the windows in place. Whilst waiting for the glue to dry, cut along the guidelines of your cardboard sheets in preparation for fitting the interior walls and floor. Glue the 4 walls together for the main building, ensuring all the corners are square. This can be done by using the white lines on your cutting mat. I would recommend using blue tack balls propped against the walls to keep them upright until the adhesive has dried. Then take your cut-out cardboard parts for the central booking office corridor and glue them in place. Be aware the corners of the floor need to be trimmed to avoid the door frames. And now repeat this process for the separate toilet block. Back to the main station building. Getting this bit right is very important. Glue the 2 main sections of the roof in place, but make sure the narrow roof section, marked PECO, on the back is placed on the same side as the canopy roof will be fitted. Otherwise, the canopy roof will not fit properly. Then taking the roof ridge, run a bead of glue down the centre and place it on the top of the roof, pushing across evenly with a small amount of pressure. Leaving the main station building to one side for a moment, we move to the canopy roof. Glue a long section of the valance to the front edge of the canopy roof, ensuring equal overhanging at both ends. Note the 3 locating pegs along the back edge of the canopy are to remain in place. From the slanted valance section, cut 2 14 plank lengths. These are left and right handed. Then glue in place. Repeat this with the valance coving and glue the 4 roof beams under the canopy equally spaced at 25mm apart. Once dry, attach the canopy to the main station building using 3 large holes and locating pegs for positioning. The canopy should slope down towards the building with the valance planks at each end vertical. Glue the 3 supporting columns under the canopy in the located holes, making sure they're vertical. Glue the gutter on the adjacent side of the building using the 4 pegs and the small holes you've pre-drilled. Glue the downpipes in position and cut to size. Attach the phone locker and the signal bell in your desired locations. Then glue the chimney into place and attach the toilet block to the main station building. When the adhesive is dry, glue the posters and the timetable notice boards in place and attach the desired pictures onto the notice boards. And there you have it, a finished building ready for your layout. This model is appropriate for the less experienced modeller and painting is optional, but the parts are moulded in the appropriate colours. However, if you wish to take your model to the next level of detail and finesse, the next film will show you how to do this with the PECO Many Ways Lineside kit range. The new PECO Catalogue 75th Year Anniversary Edition is now available to buy. It includes all the brands that PECO has to offer, including popular retaining wall kits from the Wills kit range, which happens to be our next feature. In this film we're going to show you how to construct the Wills retaining wall SS52 kit, including painting and weathering it. This kit can be used in a myriad of different situations as a retaining wall, either upright, as we're going to produce in this film, or sloping plus other configurations. Before you start modelling, you need the right tools to do the job. We recommend the PECO Tools Kit Builders Toolset, the PT200. Again, for this plastic kit we'll be using liquid polyurethane cement, 3 different colours of enamel paints and an acrylic yellow wash to highlight the brickwork. We will also use Halford's red primer as a base coat for the colour of the bricks. Inside the box you'll find your kit and instructions, which you'll need to keep to one side for reference during your build. Lay out the kit and its components in order to familiarise yourself with all its parts. Start by removing all the components from their mouldings. This can be done with a pair of plastic cutters or a Stanley blade. Then take each of the components and remove any plastic burrs or rough edges from all the kit's parts using a file to clean the edges. This will allow all the components to fit together properly. Each of the arch mouldings will need to be cut back by 7mm on each of the joining edges. There are deep moulded guidelines on the back of each sheet to show you where to cut. Once cut, make the ends good by filing the edges so you get a seamless join. Cement the upright reveal edges of the arches to their miters. Then using the crown strips, form the underside of the arch. As you hold each piece in place, you will need to wait for the glue to set before letting go in order to form a nice curve. Apply cement to the edge of the reveal and the curved crown strip. Then flip the arch over gently and place it on top of the infill panel using the guides. For this film, we're using a brick wall side of the infill panel, but it is reversible, and on the other side is a garage door with access. For the next bit, we recommend using a long ruler or a straight edge whilst joining the 4 arches together. This will keep your retaining wall straight and help keep it steady during its construction. To join the 2 arches together, we would suggest using some of the offcut section of the retaining wall or sprue from the mouldings to help strengthen the joints of your retaining wall and keeping them flat. Keep joining them together as required and then wait for the cement to harden. Whilst you're waiting for the cement to harden, assemble the parapet wall sections by gluing the 2 panels of the wall mouldings back to back and adding the half-round capping strip on the top. Then turn your attention to the piers. Cement the packing piece at the base of the long section of the pier. Then cement the sides and the back in place. When the cement has set, file the top and smooth before fitting the capping stone. Adding the end brick strip to the bottom of the parapet wall as shown here, making sure it has a small amount of overhang. This is important to disguise the join between the arch and the parapet. It also adds some strength. Now gently sand the edges to make sure they are all flush. Now start by adding the piers by placing them in the centre of each join between the arches and gluing in place. Then attach the parapet wall and apply glue to the ends along the bottom and behind the end of the brick strip. You may wish to use some packing to keep everything level and straight whilst you're waiting for the glue to set. Now we can begin painting and the preparation before fitting it onto the layout. We've used Halford's red primer as a base coat for the wall. You should always use a primer under your paints to get the best finish. But we have chosen the red primer purely because it gives a very good Victorian red brick colour as a base coat. We've also chosen for this particular wall a yellow wash, which allows us to have a more sandy mortar effect on the brickwork. You could use white, or you could use light grey or a medium grey. The choice is entirely up to you. With a good sized paintbrush, apply the acrylic wash liberally all over the brickwork. Allow to dry thoroughly between coats to achieve the look you require. To the half circle capping stones, we apply Humbrol 100 terracotta. And then to the capping stones on top of the piers, we painted them Humbrol Matte 66. Then we painted the downpipes in Humbrol number 3 green, and when dry we attached them below the centre of the piers, covering up the joins between the arches. And there you have it, a finished retaining wall fit for any railside embankment. I hope you've enjoyed this kit build from PECO TV, and we look forward to seeing you again on another kit build programme in the future. As you're probably well aware, PECO produces a wide range of products across all scales. However, if you are just lacking a little in inspiration, then look no further if you're an engager, because here we have the latest set track plan book from PECO. It's also going to lead me quite nicely into the next piece, which is all about the new turntable motor. COVID-19 has been a challenge for us all. As a British manufacturer, PECO had to adapt. In this next film, Steve Haynes is going to show us behind the scenes of the PECO factory, and we can see how it's coped through the previous lockdowns.
Okay, here I am outside the front door of the factory. I'm going to go in there and show you what's happening in there. Then we'll take you up into the Pecorama Gardens and you can see how we've adapted to these new strange conditions. When COVID-19 broke out and the country went into lockdown, the world for everyone changed quite suddenly. From that moment on, all normality ended, and for us at PECO that meant that we had to change the way we operated. Our factory did not allow for safe social distancing in accordance with government instructions, so we had to find a new way of operating. At the same time, you were all at home, busy building model railways. So when we came back after a pause in production, we were faced with an incredible uplift in demand for our products, so we had to respond. Fortunately, we had the benefit of the various buildings around the Pecorama site being available, and as Pecorama could not open, so we were able to relocate various departments into new temporary locations. So, for the rest of the 2021, your turnouts and kits will be packed variously in the Garden Room restaurant, the Station Gallery, and PlayStation, a novel but necessary repurposing of these buildings. What plans there are for Pecorama in 2021 will be revealed next year, but for the time being, this is the new normal for us as we continue to cope with the incredible uplift in demand for our products. With all of us spending so much more time at home, it's obvious that creative activities such as model railways have become a very important distraction to the drudgery of day-to-day life. We'll be continuing to adapt to the situation so you can ensure that you have the products you need to enjoy this wonderful, mindful and creative hobby. We should mention our retailers and distributors around the world. They've done a fantastic job supporting us and supporting you, making sure that the products you need are there when you need them. It's been a tough time for everybody and they have weathered the storm very well, and we're very grateful for their support. We hope that you'll continue to support them throughout the coming months and the year ahead.
That was a fantastic insight to how PECO has been coping throughout all the lockdowns. Now, hopefully, things will get better soon and we'll all be able to see you soon at a model exhibition.